I want you to think about your future. What do you think the world's going to look like?
We're going to be in depth with technology. We know that basically everything right now is going to be technology. And that's why STEM is such a big deal right now, because we need to change our mindset.
Well, welcome.
I'm pleased to invite you to the 2014 California STEM Summit.
The theme for today's conference, Engineering Action for Change. How do you take grand visions and actually make them work in a place called school?
I've got a confession to make. I'm a nerd. How is it that we're having a blast doing this stuff over here with like engineering superpowers, and the data shows that kids don't want to be engineers, right? That's a huge disconnect.
We really have to change the ecosystem.
Students will learn a lot more when they remember, the mistakes that they did when they were trying to do something, or what they had to remember to do when they were actually doing an experiment, for example.
I'm a part of the Biotech Academy at my school, and we do a lot of hands-on lab work. When teachers make it more hands-on, that's when it clicks for me more, and I know that works for other students too.
For me, I'd love for people to be inspired and excited about taking engineering back to schools and turning kids into inventors.
California is really on the move. Policy making is the easiest part. Their job is to really translate the state policies into the classroom.
So one of the most important things that we think about is human-centered design. It's these mindsets around innovation.
It's not your old educational model. It is really about letting kids have access to the tools that allow them to make mistakes, to problem solve, to critically think, to work in groups.
Now we're talking about cross-cutting concepts, about practice of science, about the application of it.
Begin with that human-centered design approach in the classroom, real students, real teachers, and build up from there.
If you could change one thing, what would you change?
I would just make schools less isolated and more part of a community.
Get rid of subjects, but start with the themes, because everything in our world is integrated, so let's learn that way in school.
Don't let your zip code determine your future outcomes.
If we want to really invest in the system, we need to do it early on. And particularly this is true with children in poverty. And this is very true with the way the human brain just happens to work. This is how we are all wired.
As the state's largest employer, we rely on workers that are trained in hard science and in STEM careers, a lot of engineers.
7 out of the 10 fastest growing occupations are in STEM jobs.
The creativity space, that's really the skill set that we're looking for in the future in terms of getting people that are not afraid to take risks, that are creative, and will go for it.
What's on the drawing board for the future?
There's a movement going on, and I feel like the future really is starting to look a lot brighter. There's going to be a consolidation of efforts, it's going to be much more focused, and it's going to be on a global scale. If we all remember that we are the innovators and we are the designers, and we just do that in our job every day, we are the ones that can change the world.